What's up, everybody? Before we get into the real video, I wanted to quickly do a shout out to Imua. Imua at this point of time is doing their token auction. It's a great principle. It's an amazing project as well. Did a full video on that. I'll leave the link to that down in the description. But you can bid on bundles of their tokens right now. I'll leave a link down in the description to that as well. And at this point of time, you're buying their tokens, or you can bid on their tokens below the prices where venture capitals bought. And if you get outbid, so if you bid something on these tokens and someone bids higher, you actually get a percentage of what they bid. So amazing opportunity for an amazing project. Links down in the description. Check that out. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a good day so far, and welcome to this new video right here on the crypto markets. We're going to do a full update here this Friday. It's been relatively quiet so far. I mean, the Asian session this morning was quite voluminous, but since then it's been quiet. Volume has been low. The US session has started about 30 minutes ago. I expect more volatility, but we'll talk a little bit more in this video about what that volatility can mean. And what we can expect. So let's get right into it. I mean, first of all, when we're talking about the fundamentals, there's no major news today. The fundamentals have just been slowly grinding up. I mean, if you look at the S&P 500, you can see that that's still making new all-time highs. So that's good to see. I think, but this is something I actually have to confirm real quick. But I think that there's also a slight Coinbase Bitcoin premium, so there's some real bidding coming in for Bitcoin again, which is also, I think, something like some things you can also feel, right? I mean, Bitcoin, if you look at the 4-hour time frame, has been ramping up great. If you look at all the imbalances we formed basically since Sunday, those have been either bought up really well, or we just completely ignored them. Which, at least for now, is positive. I mean, at some point of time, we're probably going to go back for those, but who knows? But the reactions we got to moves, for example, also the move on Wednesday, those have been good. The US Open so far has been good, but like I said, real volume still has to come in. Fundamentals are decent. We have here you can see, I mean, we have a major Coinbase Bitcoin premium, which is good to see, especially when the Bitcoin dominance is still in a downtrend, right? So you actually have a strong Bitcoin, and you have the Bitcoin dominance in a strong downtrend with no definite signs that that's going to turn into an uptrend soon, in my opinion at least. So the fundamentals are great. I mean, not only the S&P 500, but also the Russell 2000, which is basically stocks, but then a little bit riskier. Like the Russell 2000 is the main, stock, the main equity index that you could compare with crypto, with altcoins. Volatility index is quite low, spiked down lower as well. So unrest in the general world is also relatively low. And altcoins are holding the breakout. I mean, obviously, altcoins, you can take a look at others, have broken out of this major resistance level right here, and they're still auctioning higher, and they're still holding the breakout. So it's Friday, and Friday is historically quite a bearish day, which is something I do want you, like everything so far has been very optimistic, right? And I think it's good to be optimistic about the markets, but it's also good to know that Friday, if you take a look at the last 3 months, on average, Friday has been bearish. Right, because Friday very often is a de-risking day, where a lot of major position holders that have opened longs over the course of the week, which has probably also happened for Bitcoin, close off their positions. So that is something to be aware of, right? The volume is quite low. There is a possibility if we see that de-risking starting. So if all of a sudden Bitcoin drops down below this level right here at 114.8. Right, so that's a very short term and low time frame support level. If Bitcoin drops down below that with volume, then that could be an early sign that we see some de-risking, and everything does seem to be very correlated with Bitcoin, as you can see right here. So if that happens, we can actually have a pretty aggressive pullback, and that is something I do need you to be aware of. But at this point of time, look, you should be aware of that. Like if this happens, then we can have that pullback. But as it stands right now, if we look at the fundamentals for the financial markets, if we talk about the fundamentals for crypto markets specifically, but also if we look at technicals, I think it's better to be optimistic and bullish. So that is what I am as well. So for Bitcoin, I think it's most likely that we will still have some sort of a pullback, but that ultimately we'll be able to hold 114.5, and that we'll be able to see a continuation into 117 and 118, which is my next major price target. Which you can see on the chart as well, that's a respected level. And I expect pretty similar things for Ethereum and XRP. Ethereum has broken out above 4,480. That's the main level that we need to hold for a continuation higher. I think it's most likely we will be able to hold that. That does mean that we can still retest that level, but I think ultimately we'll be able to hold that. The same thing for XRP. XRP broke above that level at $3, which is a high liquidity zone. I think it's most likely that we're going to be able to hold that and rally higher, as long as Bitcoin is able to hold that level between 114.5 and 114.8. So also if we get bad news, right, then we can also drop down below that, right? So it's either some sort of a major de-risking or bad news, but in both cases, you need to wait for that bearish confirmation, and then you can make the conclusion, all right, I need to scale out, or all right, we're going to be a little bit more bearish on the short term. Yeah, so when we're talking about altcoins, there's a couple of altcoins that I think are quite interesting. Solana and the Solana ecosystem have been incredibly great. I think there's a good chance that Ethereum and its ecosystem are going to do great. That is not right now, all right? I think we need a little bit more momentum and a little bit more volume coming into Ethereum if we really want to be certain that Ethereum beta is also going to rally. But it doesn't hurt to keep your eyes on ENS, on Pendle, etc. And what more do we have? I mean, I've spoken about Polygon quite often in the last, well, what is it? In the last weeks. I think that Polygon is getting close to being ready for another leg up. So definitely keep your eyes on that as well. But that's it for now. That's what that's my update for now. So hopefully that helps for today, but also going into the weekend. If you have any questions, make sure to join our Telegram or Discord server, and I'll happily help you in there. But for now, that's it. So thank you for watching. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend in advance, and bye.